Okay, so in this eye, you can see something that's very obvious. You see that thick light brown color everywhere? That's lymph stagnation. It indicates that your lymph system is not moving properly, okay? And this occurs because your kidneys are not filtering the lymphatic waste, and also occurs because the foods you have been eating, the starches and the proteins, will cause this, okay? Also means that your adrenals are not working properly. And so this needs to be fixed quickly because this is causing congestion in the body, okay? At the cellular level, it's causing congestion. Remember that in every single cell, there's blood to feed the cells, and there's lymph to remove waste from the cells. When the lymph becomes stagnant like this, it means that it's not moving at all, or very little, or not as it should be. And this will cause stagnation. And this stagnation carries acids and mucus, and this will affect the tissue, organ, and glands. And you have potential health issues. That's why it's important to get the kidneys to work better, and it's important to get the lymph system to work better. Okay, that dark line going around the eye is called a skin ring. Indicates your thyroid is weak. It also indicates a weak kidney filtration. It's because the thyroid is responsible for metabolic rate as well as sweating. Okay, and when the kidneys can't filter out metabolic waste, the body uses the skin as the third kidney, but the skin is not as effective as the kidneys in eliminating waste. So you get this build-up. Okay, so potential skin issues arising as well. If you look closely, there's a dark ring going around the pupil. That's a malabsorption ring. Indicates you're malabsorbed. You're not absorbing nutrients properly due to mucus plaque in the small intestines. All this section here is enlarged. This dark line here going around the bowels. That's an autonomic nerve root. Indicates weak adrenals, weak digestive system. And if you look closely, you see all here, this is ascending colon, here's a transverse colon, here's a descending colon. It's enlarged, your bowels are enlarged. This is due to a weak parathyroid as well as the food you've been eating as well. Okay, so you gotta fix the bowels. Use the bowel strength tincture, use the bowel cleanser to pull the mucus plaque on the small intestine. If you look closely, you see fine lines leaching out of the pupil. This is called radii solaris. Indicates toxic tunnels of waste leaching out to other body parts and glands, okay? Especially the brain section. All here is the brain section here. The top part here is the hair and scalp region, also full of mucus and lymph. Potential hair issues arising. If you look at it closely at the actual pupil, it's purple. It indicates potential eye issues or cataracts. If you look closely around the actual iris as well, this purple hue, that's also cholesterol. Now the body uses cholesterol to bind to acids, metabolic waste, to protect you. Okay, so the adrenals will produce excess cholesterol, and then it will bind to it to protect you. So we need to remove this acidosis. That's the 100% fruit diet and the herbs I will soon suggest to you. This line going right here hits the mastoid and medulla region, okay? The mastoid and medulla is responsible for dizziness, balance, and equilibrium. So you want to address this. Use the endocrine tincture. And right here is the ear, neck, and the shoulder region, all heavy with lymph stagnation or mucus, okay? And this needs to be cleaned up. I'll use a circulation tincture to address this. Right here is the heart region. You can see it's congested with lymph, okay? So I will use circulation tincture to boost blood flow to the heart region. Right here is the upper and lower lung region, all heavy with lymph stagnation or mucus. You can see heavy. So I would use the respiratory T and respiratory 1 tincture to address this. This section right here is where the breast is located, okay? You can see it's covered in mucus as well. And right here is the rib, thorax, and chest region, all heavy with lymph stagnation congestion, okay? You need to address this. You use the circulation tincture, as I spoke of, and the neurological 1 tincture as well, for the brain as well as the blood flow to the heart region, the chest, and the lung region. Right here is where the spleen is located. This is what cleans the blood, so you want to make sure it's good working order. I would use the lymphatic spleen tincture to address this, to cleanse the blood. Okay, right here is where the pancreas is located. Right here is where the testes is located. You can see heavy lymph stagnation congestion. Use the prostate formula if for a male, and the circulation down tincture to boost blood flow to this region. Right here is where the pelvis is located. And right here is where the upper abdominal wall and the groin is located. You can see heavy lymph stagnation congestion. I would use the lower circulation tincture to boost blood for this region. Right here is the left foot, knee, and thigh region, also heavy lymph stagnation and congestion. This dark spot here is where the adrenals are located. You can see, okay, it's congested of lymph. When you have weak adrenals, you're going to have the weak digestive system because the autonomic nerve root around the bowels. You're going to have nerve rings. If you look closely, although it's clouded, you can see some rings going round and round. Those are nerve rings. Indicates your adrenals are weak. Okay, so you need to fix this. Also, if you look closely, once the adrenals are weak, kidneys will get weak. So you see a lot of mucus on the kidneys. So you gotta fix the kidneys. I would use a kidney tincture. I would use kidney tea and kidney 60 plus the kidney urinary tincture as well to address this. Right here is where the penis and prostate region is located. Okay, and beside it, right here is the bladder. Okay, you can see all heavy lymph stagnation congestion. So use the prostate formula and use the circulation down formula to address this. So right here is where the lower back is located. Right here is where the middle back is located. Right here is where the upper back is located. Okay, you can see heavy lymph stagnation, congestion. Right here where the spine is located. It's covered with mucus and acids. So we need to address this. Use the circulation tinctures as I mentioned. Okay, right here is where the scapula is located. Okay, and the esophagus is located, and the voice box is located right here. So I would use a respiratory T and respiratory 1 tincture to address this. Right here is where the thyroid is located. You can see it's full of mucus congestion. You can see that you also have the skin ring because of weak thyroid. So I would use the thyroid lymph tincture to address this. Beside is the parathyroid, and right here are the tonsils. The parathyroid is responsible for tissue integrity. When you have weak bowels like this, okay, large bowels is due to weak parathyroid. Okay, so you need to address this. I would use the endocrine glands and tincture and some circulation tincture as well. For the thyroid, use the thyroid lymph tincture. Okay, for the tonsils are the main lymph nodes of the head region, is what drains acids out of the head. So they need to be in good working order. So I would use the circulation tincture and the neurological one tincture for the brain section to help address that as well. And right here is where the lower jaw, mouth, tongue, upper jaw, nose, and the eye region located. You can see it's all covered in mucus and acid. So you have sinus congestion. Okay, you need to clean this up. Use true horseradish root to break the mucus. Use eucalyptus oil or peppermint oil and inhale it with steam. Okay, you want to use hot and cold compression to the back of the head. You want to also use neurolymphatic massage from the top of the head to the back, into the upper back region as well. To break the mucus up, you can do a neti pot with eucalyptus oil will help break this up as well. Okay, you can do eye washes to clean the eyes, you do ear candling to clean the ears, anything to move the mucus in the head region, because the head houses the pituitary gland, which you can see right here. That is pituitary gland right here, and the pineal gland close to it. And the pineal gland is responsible for sleep and hormone regulation, and the pituitary gland is the main endocrine gland that controls all the other endocrine glands. When it's weak, all the other glands go weak. Okay, so you need to address this. Circulation tinctures will help you address this. The neurological one tincture, the circulation tincture, will help address this for you. So overall, this eye, okay, you can also see, so overall this eye shows high acidosis, high lymph stagnation, bowels are compromised, congested, okay, very important, the bowels need to move, thick skin ring, weak thyroid, you need to, right here you see all that inflammation, the red blood vessels, it shows high acidosis, you have a cholesterol ring, you have a skin ring. So a general diet of fruits and herbs is going to help you, okay? I would keep it very simple. You don't need extra supplement, you don't need to be eating starchy foods or protein. You need a very simple diet of fruits and raw veggies, like green drinks, and you need to use the herbs I recommended and give it time. If you are supplementing with other stuff, you might want to reduce it or stop it because it's just congesting the body more. You need kidney filtration, you need the adrenals work better. Once those get back on board and you remove all that lymphatic waste you can see here, then it's going to start getting better and better and better, okay? It's kidney filtration issue, it's a lymph issue, these need to be addressed.